every coaching assignment will have its challenge, and this is slightly different in the sense that it's a different segment, but again the common denominator is cricket. After all, they're going to be playing cricket. In terms of tactics, in terms of technique and various other things, there's nothing much different. So therefore I don't see this as something totally different. It's slightly different, yes, but not totally different.
But in the past couple of months, there was controversy amongst the semi-finals. Have you recovered from whatever has happened, and are you now focused on the job ahead? You're the captain of the team as well as one of the main batsmen. Are you, past what has happened, and how prepared are you for the new tour?
I think it's a fresh start. Coming into the new year, I think this is the first series, and yes, we moved on from that, and right now the focus definitely is the New Zealand series, because as a captain, as a team, we understand the importance of the point system, and how important it is for us to gain those points to get an entry into the 2021 World Cup. And we know where we stand right now in the tables. So this series is very, very crucial in that perspective.
So same question to Quint. You are taking in a team in a kind of a challenging time, or what you've seen in the past 2 months. So is it like a new, like you said, is it a new, like Mithali said, it's a new chapter? You also align with the views? Are you going to begin with a clean slate?
It's definitely a new chapter, and I for one never look back in life. I always take things as they are today, and based on what you do today, I like to derive some benefits. So along those lines, I'll be what I am and what I have been. Just take things on a day-to-day basis, not go back into past and look at things.
Mike, center में कर दो और left में left.
Having worked under different coaches over the years, what do you expect from WV?
Well, I think when the coach comes in for the national side, we as a team are very vocal and expressive as to what is required for the team, the benefit of the team, and the coach and the players will have to be on the same page, because that's very important. And a coach understands, and I'm sure, like I've definitely not trained under him, but I've met him a couple of times, and if you've seen his credentials, he's got various, like his experience and expertise goes beyond, like he's played and he's also coached various teams at various levels. So he comes with that, and there is no expectation as such when you have credentials like that. You are only positive that the coach will make a big difference to the team getting into this year, into the series.
So I think that will make a difference from the other coaches. Like he has played quite a number of internationals, like other, compared to Tushar Arade was just the first class. Ramesh Powar was played less than, or much less than.
Well, see, I honestly believe every coach, like how every captain has a very different take. They get very different perspectives to the table. So does the coach. The team, what it is today, is because of all those various coaches who've trained the team in these years. The team has come so far, and his knowledge will also benefit the team to only go further and above, to move forward.
Because there were differences of opinion between you and the T20 captain over the previous coach, which then unfortunately became conflict. So now as ODI captain ahead of an important tour, how do you ensure the team moves together?
Well, I mean, at this level, every player understands what it takes to reach this level, and what it takes as a team to play, to go on an overseas tour, to aim to win the series, to gain those points. So even though we might have difference of opinions, but when we come down as players, as a team, we sit down and discuss. It's always to the benefit of the team, and what works for the team is what is decided by everybody. And I believe that as a one-day captain, it is important for me to get the team together, and important that we perform as a unit, because individual brilliance will win you matches, but if you have to win series, you need every core member of your team to perform, and that performance has to complement the team's goal. So that is definitely is what I believe will get the team together again, and that's what we're going to work on.
Mithali, the question is, you're proving New Zealand, and most of the girls haven't been the first time. So you're going into early also, 10 days in advance. So how do you see it? How many matches are you playing there, or what was the plan before the season starts?
Well, yes, as far as the conditions are concerned, we do have a lot of players who are touring New Zealand for the first time, and it's good. It is good that we are going a few days earlier, because we'll get to acclimatize with the conditions to train there. And as far as the experience also is concerned, this team is experienced because a lot of players have been with the team for a few years now. But yes, the conditions will be different, but getting us those early few days will give us that advantage of getting into the series with a more preparation wise. Yeah.
Two separate questions to the area captain, Mithali Raj and coach. Mithali, during the World T20, you had mentioned that the team has started setting the T20I side, and that might have been your last T20I World Cup. With the T20 World Cup slated in about 14 months from now, where do you see yourself in the T20I setup of India? And Coach Raman, what were your motivations behind applying for the India women's coach's job? Because you had such great credentials in the domestic circuit. So why India women all of a sudden?
Well, I think I will take a series at a time. So I don't know where I would be in 2-3 months now. So I can't really predict whether I will be part of a 2020 World Cup. For me right now at this juncture, this New Zealand tour is as important, and very important in fact, how it goes for the team and for me. So I am only looking forward for this tour as of now. I can't predict, or I cannot comment on the fact that how it was going to go in future. That is something I've never planned throughout my career. It's always been with the flow.
Yeah, having watched them play and having seen them on the field and the talent they exhibited, and given all that has transpired over a period of last 18 months, this is a very crucial stage. This is the stage where they can really sort of skyrocket, or if things don't go well, things can really go down south. So at this point I thought they would require somebody with the experience, and also somebody who's seen a gamut of teams and performed various roles. I thought they needed somebody like that to guide them. So I fancied myself, and that's the reason here I am.
WV, you have had very less time to look at the team, and you were in Andhra for the challenges. How much have you seen of the women's cricket of late? And to Mithali, whatever happened in recent times, did you think of quitting T20 and just concentrating on one-day internationals, just like your good friend?
I said that I always look at things today and decide as to what is to be the result of what you do today. I'll obviously apply the same principle here. I'd like to go there, see the team, getting into the nest, doing their preparations, and take it from there, because what happened in Vijayawada has got nothing to do with what is going to happen in New Zealand. It's all about from now on, and like in sport, especially in cricket, it's not about what you can do today, it's about what you can do tomorrow. So there's no point, going back in time.
I never thought of quitting, because whatever's happened is off the field, and I believe whenever I take that decision, it probably will be because of my own reasoning about my own game.
Yeah, that's a question actually to both of you. Mithali touched upon the point system, the ICC Women's Championship. Not knowing, whether you're going to play Pakistan or how tough it's going to be, because you don't have a terrific record in New Zealand. You're going there after 12 years actually. Yeah. It's 2006 for the last two. And how tough it is, you and Julian have been there, nobody else. And Rama, in this context, how tough it's going to be because of the Australia series is wiped out. We're looking at the first points actually. So how tough in that context it's going to be? They're going to meet the full team actually in New Zealand in the next situation. Both of them actually.
Yes.
And also Mithali, you have three matches short of 200. You're also coming from that.
Well, I do understand that the home series against Australia hasn't gone very well for us. We haven't won a point there. So this series, in that perspective, is very, very important, very crucial because if we can get those 6 points, having lost the last game against Sri Lanka, also we've lost out on those 2 points. And playing any team in the home conditions will have its own challenges. Yes, Julu and I have told last in 2006, but over these years, I'm sure New Zealand also would have changed. We've only played in Auckland and Christchurch. We haven't played in the rest of the places that we are touring this time. So that is also could be one of those first experience for both of us after so many years. We'll definitely rely on everybody's experience as players of so many years and also those 10 days that we are going early, and that should benefit all of us to prepare for the series.
What about looking forward to the tour, playing all three and touching the tour and
I can only say I'm happy I've come so far.
Raman, challenge in this context.
Yeah, any tour abroad is a challenge. And when you look at this particular series, there are two ways of looking at it. One is that almost the entire team has not been there, which means that they can always go with an open mind and have no fears and get on with it. The other side of the coin is that New Zealand will see a lot of unknown quantities. That can always be dangerous in cricket, even though they have the advantage of being a home team.
Tell you, given that what has happened in the past couple of months, have you spoken to Harmanpreet in this period? Because she said recently in an interview from Australia that she has absolutely no issues with you. So have you guys tried to clear the air and move on from this and discuss?
Well, we did meet up after what has happened, and I think both of us have moved on from there. I guess too much emphasis is now given to that controversy. It is last year. All of us should look forward to 2019.
Okay, two separate questions to you. We are talking about the coach. First, Mithali, how much of this fiasco, if I'm going to do you think has helped the profile of India women's cricket, especially considering the focus on shifting from the cricket that India were playing onto off-field activities, as you mentioned? How much do you think that has helped India women's cricket specifically? And for Mr. Raman, considering there have been a couple of instances where India women have made it to the semi-finals and the final in the last 2 world tournaments, do you reckon there is a bit of an issue with regards to managing pressure at run situations, and how do you look to sort of resolve that, considering we have the World T20 next year and of course the 2021 World Cup, and you have a 2-year contract appearing?
It's not about what my contract is, it's about the very fact that they went on to almost win the World Cup in England, and also they went up to the semi-finals. That's one of the reasons I did put my hat into the ring, because that to me was an indication that there's great talent in the women's cricket circuit and they're capable of going places. And that's what I'm going to be looking at, as to how to try and guide them to continue play as well as they did in the last 18, and hopefully, obviously, better than probably what they did in the last 18 months. They've set a high standard in the last 18 months, so it augurs well, and that's the reason that everybody should be looking towards doing much better than they did in the last 18 months. And hopefully they'll go on to do it. I'm very sure, given the talent and the way they've played in the last 18 months.
Well, I don't know how controversies help the profile of the sport, because profile of the sport is totally depends on how the players and the teams perform, any sport that is. And it definitely did hamper women's cricket in a not so good way, but I believe because when a lot has been spoken about non-cricketing things, it's not so good. But now we are getting an opportunity where we can again perform and let people talk about the team's performance. That will only enhance the profile of the sport.